surging coronavirus outbreak. An independent survey shows 9 in 10 Filipinos approved of both President Duterte's performance and personality.
And for more on this, Buena Bernal joins us live from Manila. Buena, an overwhelming thumbs up, it seems, for the president despite the pandemic. What's behind Mr. Duterte's lasting popularity?
Well, the Presidential Communications Office said that the results of this survey by independent polling firm Pulse Asia can be attributed to certain government policies, including the one-year extension of the pandemic-related state of calamity to expedite fund disbursement and efforts to revitalize the economy. But critics are also saying that in interpreting these survey results, you have to look at social milieu and the climate of fear in the country in terms of airing dissent. Is there an incentive for survey takers to be truthful in terms of airing that dissent? And critics are highlighting a pattern of intimidation. You've seen how critics have been jailed in the case of opposition Senator Laila de Lima after drug-related charges were filed against her, after she initiated the Senate probe on the abuses alleged under the drug war, or have been ousted in the case of Chief Justice Maria Lourdes Sereno, who also aired criticism against the drug war before her ouster, supposedly for different reasons, or even media personalities, journalist and Duterte critic Maria Ressa, convicted of cyber libel, facing various other charges, or even the largest broadcaster, ABS-CBN, shut down after coming head-to-head with Mr. Duterte over unaired political advertisement issues. Now, on the other hand as well, Mr. Duterte has always been a hugely popular president. If you're looking at those surveys by credible polling firms, and even the pattern from the time he got elected in 2016 to the midterm elections in 2019. If you recall, in 2016, he won by a landslide of 16 million votes on a platform of ending drug proliferation and criminality in the Philippines within 3 to 6 months. And in the 2019 midterm elections, we saw that not one candidate from the leading opposition slate called Ocho Derecho secured a senatorial seat. And instead, we saw names or people who had no national legislative experience being elected into national posts largely on the basis of the support of the president, including Senator Bongo, who was the previous special assistant to the president, who was also a long-term aide of Mr. Duterte when he was mayor of Davao City in southern Philippines, and Senator Bato de la Rosa, who was the national police chief under Mr. Duterte, widely regarded as the architect of the Philippine drug war. In terms of what's at stake here, you see that a continued popularity of Mr. Duterte could also mean a further consolidation of power. And that's very important in the Philippines, where politics is largely driven by public sentiment. Whoever is popular, whoever is that figure, others follow or shift alliances. But also you have to ask, what is the marginal benefit here? Because even in status quo, Mr. Duterte already has huge institutional support. For example, in the Supreme Court, he has appointed 11 out of the 14 sitting justices there. Or even in Congress. Congress is dominated by his allies, institutions that are ideally the checks and balance of the executive branch. And that's essentially what lawyer Barry Gutierrez, who is the spokesperson for the Vice President Leni Robredo from the opposition Liberal Party, that's what he argued against the rebuke from presidential spokesperson Harry Roque when he said that Mrs. Robredo lagged behind in those surveys because she was politicking amid a pandemic. And Mr. Gutierrez said that the office of the vice president does not have the same institutional support as that of the president.
All right. Thanks for that update. Buena Bernal speaking to us from Manila.